These are all my thoughts and opinions based on information in the public domain. You see that yellow? That's the sun hitting well, the trees, because we had sun today. Now the weather started to get a little bit better. What do you guys think? It snowed like crazy yesterday. I'm completely loving that tree. You know how the sun hits it with the snow? It is so pretty. I wish you guys could be here. You know, I'm just getting ready to say goodbye to Norway finally. But yep, these are all my thoughts and opinions, beautiful people.
Hello, my beautiful people. I would like to take this opportunity to apologize because I did my live yesterday with Trevor and I sound like Speedy Gonzalez, you know, especially when you have me against somebody who speaks British English. I sound really terrible. I really feel sorry for you having to listen to me with my accent, but hell, you know, thank you for watching. I will do another live with Trevor because the video that we had done would not be uploaded to YouTube because they said that it was too raw. I don't know why it's so terrible, because he was only describing the realities of being a soldier, and you know, it's not pleasant, and he has to be heard. But yeah, apologies. Please review that you're still subscribed to my channel, and if you haven't, subscribe, share, and like. Sorry, I'm sneezing. I just have allergies. Was Meghan, you know, Meghan kept talking. She sent letters to the Senate as the Duchess. She called privately the senators in their private phones to lobby for how do you call it, the parental paid leave. Now, when she did her Oprah interview, remember how Oprah asked her, were you silent or were you silenced? Okay, that was when Meghan was in the royal family, right? We know that with the Joe Rogan, they try to cancel everybody. It was like, you're terrible. And they posted on the Archwell thing that they've been concerned about monitoring the situation, blah, blah, blah. Now, according to Meghan, she was silenced while she was at the royal family. However, in the past 2 years that they've been in the United States, they had access to two big platforms, Netflix and Spotify. I can tell you it's not a hard thing to do a podcast. You don't even have to, I mean, I'm doing it and I have a little video camera. You know what I mean? She, not only did she have access to Spotify to do like live podcast or, you know, whatever, she was paid to speak up and speak out against whatever she saw. Why didn't she do like podcasts with women or parents to describe how well it would be, you know, to get the parental leave and how it would help? Why didn't she get psychologists to give the point of view of the benefits of a child from having a full-time parent? You know, why didn't she do that? Why didn't she actively advocate for that in a podcast that she received millions to do? She had that huge platform. The same thing with the BLM, the same thing for voting. She has had a platform and there's no excuse for it, because she doesn't even have to wear makeup if she's doing a podcast, you know, if you don't want to be seen, if you don't want to do a YouTube. And in Spotify, it's all vocal. You don't see the people, right? If it's a podcast. So it's not really high cost or anything. She could have had amazing conversations with people talking about race, problems there with regular folk. You know, like the regular parents, especially since it's such a dear thing to her. Why didn't she have people, because they went to these refugee camps and stuff like that? Why didn't they have that with, you know, like some refugees talking on the podcast, talking the benefits of stuff? The same thing for Harry. They both have had access to huge platforms that they were paid to speak out and speak out to the world. It didn't cost them anything. They would have earned money doing it. And the problem I see with that is that Meghan didn't want to do it because speaking to ordinary people is beneath her, because that joke of a thing that they did 2 years ago or something like that, it was recorded bits from famous stars, because clearly their interest is not really for the people. You know what I mean? She's pompous. She's a completely pompous person who doesn't like to talk to people beneath her. So I ask you guys, is she now being silenced, or is she remaining silent by choice? Is she swindling Spotify by not doing any podcasts? Because I am a nobody. I am a nobody. I have a little platform. Thank you guys, by the way. I have a little platform, and and people listen. Joe Rogan, it was not a huge star. He started just talking to buddies, and it got so popular because people wanted to hear what he had to say. If Meghan and Harry had just sat down with a microphone or with a phone or whatever and just talked to people, talked about, mental health. Why not have anybody from mental health? Because they don't really want to do it. They just want to take the money and run. They're disgusting. But what do you guys think? I might be pitching off whatever, but that is true. Has 2 huge platforms. They haven't done anything about it. Nothing. Now, I am going to advocate again for them to be removed from their website completely. And also for Whoopi Goldberg. I find her disgusting. And I'm not a big fan of canceling. However, what they did to Sharon Osbourne, and I mentioned that yesterday with Trevor. Trevor's the Rambo, he's like a real life Rambo, But she was canceled, vilified in that The View show. I mean, all of those women were against her. I think it was The View she worked. I don't know because I don't follow that. But I think it was The View. She lost her job. She was vilified by everybody. And here we have Whoopi. I mean, there's no excuse. People are trying to make excuses for her. There's no excuse. This is a 60-year-old woman entitled. I don't want her in Star Trek. I really don't. She's disgusting. I never liked her, even as in Guinan. I never liked her in Star Trek. And I don't want somebody who's a bigot like she is back in Star Trek. But if people are saying, the same people who canceled Sharon Osbourne and who were cheering when Piers Morgan got fired. You know what? What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Whoopi has to be fired. So the left also knows, because if you don't fire her, you're sending the wrong message. And this is the point that I go. You cannot go like that. And it has nothing to do with free speech. It has to do, you know what? You were racist. What you said was racist. You basically said that the death of 6 million people matter not, and it wasn't because of race. So if we applied her logic, we can say that racism doesn't exist and that people are just being mean because we're people against people. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? So anyways, what do you guys think? Do you think that Meghan was silenced or silent on purpose? Because she has had platforms. It's not a high cost at all. You can see that I do it from my little phone. I'm sure she has people that she can meet. She could have met a bunch of mothers from different states, and they could have talked about their struggles of being pregnant and their worries about parental leave. That would have had more impact, in my very humble opinion. And the same thing for Harry. He could have had some of the veterans, come over and talk to him about their struggles, their fight in Afghanistan. The difference is that Harry cannot talk about fight in Afghanistan because his ass was pampered and secured by everybody. So he could never be able to tell the stories that Trevor will talk about tonight. So please watch us tonight live. It's going to be 8 p.m. Oslo time, Norway time. Just a warning. Of course, please, it's not going to be gory details, but he will tell you pretty strong stuff. I don't think Harry had ever seen even a third or a fifth or a tenth of anything that he saw. So Harry can't relate to veterans because he hasn't really been a frontline soldier. He hasn't really fought. You know what I mean? So how can he relate to any veterans? Because he thinks he's above them, handing medals in a private museum. I mean, that's embarrassing. Anyways, enough of my rant. I'll see you. Hopefully you'll join us tonight for the live. And yes, please let me know. Was Meghan silenced or silenced? Why didn't she use the podcast to advocate for the causes dear to her heart? The vaccine. Why didn't they use the podcast to talk about the vaccines? Have experts talk about their benefits, talk about how people in third worlds. Why didn't they do that? Anyways, thank you for watching me, and I apologize once again for my accent. How terrible. Sorry, I'm back. Before I forget, did you see, I go to my Getter. On my Getter, I left the video that Thomas Markle posted to Meghan Markle. about asking her to go and apologize to her father for the nastiness she has done. Go Thomas Markle Jr. And he made a little joke saying that they had a wonderful Christmas, his father and himself, and with other family members, and they had a wonderful dinner, and they didn't go to Sizzler. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that, so yes, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you hopefully tonight for the live with Trevor. I promise I'll let him talk because I heard myself when he speaks, and I sound like Speedy Gonzalez. So anyways, thank you for watching.